Hello book besties, thank you so much for being here. Today's video is obviously a book haul. I do have to say first though that some of these books were gifts. This is just me justifying things, by the way. Some I got on Pango with Pango Bucks. I was going to do a physical TBR video instead of a haul because I genuinely have an embarrassing amount of books on my physical TBR, and I think I've finally reached a point that I'm sick of it and I really want to start to get through those books, limit my buying, up my reading, and downsize my physical TBR. So I don't know, maybe a video like that is coming, but first I wanted to catch you guys up on the books that are new to me that I've got since probably like the last 2 months. Now I'm looking at the pile like, is this an embarrassing amount for 2 months worth of time? I don't think so, actually. I'm pretty proud of this. I've been much worse. As I go through these, I would really love to know if you've read any of them, and if you're like, Jordan, put that high on your list, or girl, why'd you even buy it? I would love to know. First book is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah Parker. Alright, so I have seen this one around. Primarily what has sucked me in is the fact that it's like a dragon story. I liked that even before Fourth Wing, and then Fourth Wing just like solidified that element for me. I didn't really need to know much more, so I don't know much more. If you've been here for like 5 seconds, then you already know I love going into books blind, just kind of based on reviews and anything. The cover, the title, it literally doesn't matter. I just like going into books blind. I have just seen a lot of really good reviews for this one. Yes, I've heard it's really wordy and descriptive, so don't do it on audio. It is on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, I'm just gonna read it over there. But there's something for me about like the physical visual aid of like getting through a book. So even books that are on Kindle Unlimited, I have a bad habit of buying them physically anyways, just so I can move my bookmark. I'm judging myself, you don't need to judge me, we'll judge me together. I go to the store to get this book, and I didn't realize it's like we could build a house with this. It's an actual brick. Buy a few more of these, you've got a house. It's huge. So I will definitely be reading this one on my Kindle, but how satisfying that's gonna be to be able to visualize the progress on this one. I am gonna read a little bit of the back to you. Let me just move this dumb sticker. I refuse to read the entire synopsis because I really don't want to know everything. It's a fast-paced fantasy romance, say less already, featuring an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures, a unique magic system, and a love that blazes through the ages. Sounds great. Next up, I got Before I Let Go. I found this one at a used bookstore. My battery is about to die. Okay, I'll be right back. I really don't think I make it through a video ever without something happening. So next was Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This is not a new book, but it is one that I've seen a bajillion people absolutely love. If you watched my August TBR, I unwrapped this one, and so technically I will be reading it this month, which I'm now so excited about because the amount of people that commented on that video saying this book was their favorite ever, it got them out of a reading slump, it got them back into reading. My expectations on this one are so high at this point that I'm nervous that is going to be, in fact, something that might ruin it for me. I kind of was like, oh, I've heard it's good, but now I'm like, dude, this better be the best book ever. So the idea of this book is something to do with a marriage that they're either already divorced or their relationship is struggling. They're kind of navigating parenthood during divorce or separation, but yet still having like feelings for each other, and so it kind of has the question of, can they do this again but better? I love the idea of that story. It sounds to me like the type of book that would make any married person think deeply. I always appreciate that. So I'm very excited for this one. In July, I read 2 Annabelle Monaghan books, Summer Romance and Same Time Next Summer. So naturally, after enjoying both of those, I got Nora Goes Off Script, and ironically, this is probably her top rated one, so I don't know why I didn't start with this one, but if it's better than the other 2, then this could be a 5-star book for me. This woman writes quite literally the shortest smallest little books, but they end up being really, really good. I don't know what this is about. She is a romance screenwriter who knows the formula for love better than anyone, but her husband leaves her and her 2 kids. Her marriage's collapse turns into the best script of her life and is picked up for the big screen and set to film at her home with former sexiest man alive Leo Vance cast as her ex-husband. That sounds insane. That's just crazy to me. I don't know when I'll read this, but I'm happy to have it in my hands to add to my Annabelle collection and hopefully read soon. Alright, I also got Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. This was part of Barnes & Noble's buy one get one 50% off, which, duh, take advantage of that. I need to take this sticker off. We aren't going to talk about the fact that I have this one on my shelf already, right over here, in hardcover. But we are going to talk about the fact that I prefer reading paperback any day over hardcover. Hardcovers are great because you can get the like really pretty covers, you can get special editions, and obviously if there's a book that you just like cannot wait to have, it's gonna come in hardcover first. So like we all have the hardcovers, but reading a paperback is so much more appealing, so much easier, and especially when I saw this edition with the blue edges, I just like knew I will never read this book in hardcover because it's much bigger and heavier. And so I bought this edition so that I will read it. I know that makes no sense. I know. Now I have 2 copies of a book that I might not even like. So hopefully I love this. People definitely seem to either love this book or hate it and DNF it. It is one of those books that there doesn't seem to be a middle ground or an in-between of someone who's just like, yeah, I liked it. That's almost my favorite type of book to read because I love knowing my feelings towards it are probably going to be extreme. I have heard that this book is really sad, which is a buzzword for me. Hopefully I love it because now I have 2 copies. One of the books that I got that I am so excited for this one is Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. I have read quite a few Kristen books. I'm reading The Women this month and I have just seen this one forever. I actually used to have a copy of it. I think I gave it to my mom. I ended up buying myself another copy just because now I feel like reading it when I think a couple years ago I didn't. I have not seen the show. I don't know anything about this. I just saw someone else review it in a way that finally piqued my interest. Just the way they worded it about friendship and motherhood and like years long lasting of that relationship. After all these years, I was like, I really want to read that book now. I don't think I need to go into any of the rest of this synopsis because I'm sure that most people have already read this one or seen the show, and I'm probably one of the only people who hasn't. And I already talked about this book in my wrap-up video for July, but this is one that I more recently hauled. That is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the sequel to Powerless, and it just came out this summer. So I did already read this one. I enjoyed it, but was slightly disappointed in it. You obviously have to read Powerless first, so I'm not gonna go into the whole synopsis on this one. I think that that's all. I also got Savor It by Tara DeWitt. This one is in fact also on my August TBR. It was unwrapped in my blind video. I hope to get to it. August is passing very quickly. This is like a perfect little summer read. This cover is gorgeous and it is about, I think, a woman who went through a really bad breakup and so she wants to enter this town competition, and then the new guy in town used to be a chef, so they end up working together. I don't know why, like I didn't know if this would be like a steamy book, but someone did end up commenting and letting me know that it's pretty wholesome and like a sweet story. I don't know why this cover didn't make me think that it would be clean, but apparently it is. If I do not get to it in August, unfortunately, I don't think I'll get to it until next summer. So a review might be a long time coming, but I really did want to try so hard to get to it this summer, which is why I picked it up, but we shall see. Another book that I am very excited about that I got, that I haven't seen anyone talking about, is Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan. He is the author of the Crazy Rich Asian series, which I don't understand like what happened with that series. It was popular enough that it became a movie, but even when that was out and around, I didn't see a lot of people reading it, and the people who read it didn't really like it. So I'm not sure what prompted them to make a movie out of it. However, I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed that entire series. A lot of people complain about the amount of characters to keep track of, but for me, I felt smack dab in the middle of this family, and there was so much character and family drama, and I was just here for it. I really enjoyed that series. So when this one dropped, the cover, the synopsis, all of it just made me really eager for another Kevin Kwan book. This one just came out. It is a hardcover, which does make me wonder how soon I will actually pick it up, because I do tend to avoid hardcovers. And another one that is top of my TBR right now that I had to have is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. The second book, Love Unwritten, came out I think a few months ago, and that just blew up. I saw so many people absolutely loving it. I felt like it was time to stop sitting on this series, because being a romance reader and someone who loves these types of books, it's kind of like, why haven't I read it yet? So I am definitely planning to read this one in September. Unlike some of these other books that I hauled that I don't know how soon I'll actually get to them, this one is like hands down going to be very, very soon. And I have literally no idea what the synopsis is. Again, it's just one that I have seen people love, and it's a love story, and that's all I need. That's literally it. A very random book that I hauled, I just saw at the used bookstore and was like, you know what, I think I want to read that, is Beautiful Disaster. This is not a new book at all, and it was just made into a movie. It has a Spruce brother in it, and I'm a very big Spruce fan. I don't even know if that movie would have drawn me in if he wasn't an actor in it. Now I like have to watch it. Sometimes I'm a I don't care if I read the book first type of a person, and then there's other times that I really want to read the book first, and there's no rhyme or reason to my decision making in regards to that, but this is just one that I was like, you know what, I think I do want to read the book first. However, my opinion on that could change, because if I don't read this anytime soon, I might eventually just end up watching the movie anyways. I would love to know if anyone watching has read this book, if it's worth reading, because when I looked on Goodreads, the reviews are very mixed, which is why I didn't plan to read this one, and literally all I know about it is based off of the movie trailer, that he's a boxer. They end up like placing a bet with each other that they can like live together, but nothing happen. I'm not very sure. It's about a good girl drawn to a very bad boy, which that trope is either done so well for me or is really cringy. So it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out. My very sweet friend Keisha over at A Book Like You got me Heartless Hunter. This is another one that I will be reading in August. It is another one that I don't know really anything about other than the fact that everyone loves it. Sorry, but if you're here on my channel, you just gotta get used to that I don't really know synopses. I literally just buy books and read books. But I do think this one is about a witch and witch hunter, and initially I wasn't interested because there's another book that I read years ago with that exact same synopsis. So when this first came out and people were reading it, I just didn't think I'd read it because it was the same premise, you know? And then I saw all the rave reviews and the fact that it is a favorite of the year. So my mind changed and I ended up being really excited instead of uninterested to read this one. And then my friend Caitlin over at Pride and Paperback bought me Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison. This is, I think, book 3 after Love Light Farms. I did read Love Light Farms. It was okay for me. Everyone else loved it. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. And then I haven't read book 2, but book 3 sounds so cute to me, so my friend got me this one off of my wish list, and even this adorable crochet bookmark. I love it so much. I'm pretty sure this one is a fake dating. Yeah, she is an owner of a small town bakery and struggles with romance. So then Caleb Alvarez has the perfect solution. He suggests 1 month of no strings attached dating, but there's an ingredient that they haven't considered. The chemistry between them is red hot, and the urge to take things to the next level is more tempting than Layla's mocha fudge brownies. I ended up actually seeing someone crying over this book, so that was also something that made me like, what? You're crying over a romance? I need to read it. So let me know if you've read book 2 and if I should read that one first, or if I'm good to just go ahead and jump into book 3. Another book I got that I had hoped so much to get to this summer and I didn't, so I don't think I'll get to it till next summer, but I'm glad to have it. A Cyclist's Guide to Crime and Croissants by Anne Claire. She wrote another cozy mystery series, Last Word to the Wise, and I really liked those 2 books. Sadie Green expects some bumps in the road while navigating her new life as a bicycling tour company owner in the south of France, but murder is one obstacle she can't avoid. I'm excited about this one. It is a cozy mystery. One of my friends has been reading it, and last I heard from her, she was liking the setting. She said the story wasn't like fantastic, but she liked the setting. I'm probably not selling anyone else on this book, and I probably won't even read it until next summer at this point, but I am excited to try it for myself and hopefully enjoy it. Another cozy mystery that I got is Mayhem at the Orient Express. This one came highly recommended from a friend of mine, and again, it was just one of those used bookstore finds. I don't read a lot of cozy mysteries, but I'm prepared for when I do. This is the first in the series, but the whole series, and I could be so wrong right now, but spin-off of Murder at the Orient Express. Who is that author? Literally like the most famous mystery author there is. Oh my gosh. I literally am drawing a total blank. But I think that this series is like cozy mysteries with those same type of elements. Like this one's Mayhem at the Orient Express. I really enjoyed Murder on the Orient Express. I don't know when I'll read it, but it will go on my shelf and added to my cozy mysteries. And the last book that I've hauled is Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This one is ironically also on my August TBR. I bought these books. I had them wrapped up for my blind TBR challenge video, and ironically like several of the new books I got unwrapped. So hopefully I will be reading this one this month as well. I'm really excited about it. It gives me like the Pretty Little Liars vibes, which I love so much. I'm pretty sure this is like a YA thriller. There's debutante season and lies, of course, and is there murder? Let's assume there's murder. I don't really know. It will be my first Jennifer Lynn Barnes book, even though I do own the first books in her other 2 series. This will be the first one I'm finally reading. I have really high hopes because I know she is a pretty big hit for people, and a lot of people do really like her other books. I haven't seen anyone else really reading this one other than one of my friends, and she hasn't even finished yet. It's interesting for me to start with this one versus the other ones that are more popular, but I love reading a book without a lot of other people's opinions on it. So hopefully I enjoy it. And that is a wrap on this haul. Thank you so much for watching, especially when you watch all the way to the end. I have been doing so good cutting down on buying books. I even went to Barnes & Noble this past weekend and I did not buy a book. And I came home and I told my husband, I definitely deserve an award. I deserve a new book for not buying any books when I went to Barnes & Noble. Okay, you know what? Actually, I did just today order a new book. I ordered Assistant to the Villain because I want that on my TBR cart for September so badly. This is in the haul now too. It's just not physically here yet, but it's on its way. So that's kind of funny. I didn't buy a book at Barnes, but I did end up coming home and buying a book. I really am cracking down on my purchasing. We're trying to be so budget conscious, and I genuinely am beyond ready to cut down this huge TBR shelf and read faster than I'm buying. That will probably be an upcoming video, especially if you'd like to see my physical TBR. Let me know in the comments so I can kind of know if that video is gonna be worth putting out, because that is definitely, yeah, that's gonna be a very long video. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did and you have not hit subscribe yet, please consider hitting that button and sticking around. I hope that your books are amazing, and I will see you guys in the next video.